This is a story you'll love because this is right up your alley. But we're talking about Shaq. Let me just go way back. It was last week. The Utah Jazz played on TNT.
Right,
and Shaq
very
made
awkward
a comment.
moment.
Right, Shaq. Well, first Shaq in the studio made a comment that Donovan Mitchell, who's playing great ball, doesn't have what it takes to get to the next level, meaning lead that team to real championship contention. Donovan, he interviews Donovan after the game and says it to him. Hey, I said you don't have what it takes. I want to see what you say to that. And Donovan was just like, all right, whatever. And then Shaq pushed him, well, okay, I just wanted to hear what you said. And then Donovan said, his thing, hey, I've been doubted my whole career, blah, blah, blah. It became controversial because, as you said, Rob, it was just awkward, and Kevin Durant and LeBron James were on Instagram.
What a shocker. What a shocker that those two couldn't wait to chime in. All that stuff, man, I'm going to tell you, those guys, Chris, when it's all said and done, they'll realize it's just not worth it. Seriously. Media picking at people, it's not worth it.
They've grown. Durant seems he's a little younger than LeBron, so he's grown up with this social media. And I think social media to these guys, Kyrie Irving, all these others, their age, it's like television was to us, Rob. So I'm not that into social media. I mean, I do post my stuff, I read and all that, but I could easily step away if I had to. I don't know that some of these young guys, really could do that without it really giving them a lot of problems. But anyway, LeBron and KD said, man, these old dudes need to enjoy retirement, meaning Shaq. Just chill out, stop criticizing the young bucks. And then LeBron kind of echoed his point, but said they be hating too. Some of it's hate because he's like, you could tell by the tone of voice in which they say it. So that led Shaq. I know it's kind of a long, winding road we've been on, but that led Shaq to go on Instagram and respond twice. All right, first he said this. Where's the first one? He said he posted a picture on Monday of all his great former teammates on the perimeter. Kobe, D. Wade, Steve Nash, Gary Payton, Penny Hardaway, and LeBron. And he said, this is what greatness at the guard position looks like. Obviously, a slight to Donovan Mitchell. I played with the best ever to do it. I know what best looked like. And then it's hashtag don't have to hate. And then he says, I got G14 classification to say what I say. And today, Rob, he tweeted this. I know what greatness is. Ain't nobody playing done what I've done besides LeBron and Steph Curry. I have G14 classification to say what I say. You better Google me. He loves that G14 phrase. But there it is, Rob. And so, like I said, long, winding road, but you get what I'm saying. You get the picture. What are your thoughts?
It is, again, first of all, that he even has to do that to justify or let people know his credentials or put that out there tells you're working at a negative to me. You shouldn't have to even do that. And so what if they don't agree? The only problem I have is athletes are being put in position because basically, Chris, they're eliminating us. They're eliminating black reporters who have worked and gone to journalism school and done all that. We're the ones who get pushed out because they'd rather have black athletes. That's how it's going. And that's fine. I have no issue with athletes being analysts and doing stuff like that. But when they put them in roles as being reporters and interviewing people, Chris, I think that's where you get the issues. That's where you get the awkward moments. I said it before. Chris, you could write a harsh article or something on somebody. You don't go up to them the next day in the locker room and go, I wrote that you stink. Did you read it? Do you know what I mean? Like
right.
That's not what you do. I've written columns saying coaches should be fired. I make myself available, Chris.
Right.
I'm around. I'm not hiding. but I'm not going to go up to his face and go, did you read my column? I said you should be fired. What do you think? What is he supposed to say? It's like asking a guy in an interview, when did you stop beating your wife? Like what is the response to that?
Right.
So he put him in a spot that was awkward, and now he has to somehow try to justify. And the players, Chris, are way too sensitive. If it's you, if it's me, if it's Stephen A., if it's Skip Bayless, we don't know anything. We didn't play in the NBA. And now it's Shaq, and now it's Charles Barkley, and they don't want to hear from them. Oh, they're just old guys. LeBron, they're just hating. Why can't it be criticism? What world are we living in where these guys think they can play in a public forum, Chris, and not be criticized for their work when it's not up to par? It's not about your hair or your waist size or if you have acne or not. It's about your play. Why can't people talk about your play? We all watch the game. We analyze it. You don't have to agree with it.
I think a few things, a few responses to what you said. Number one, I do agree with you. I don't think that they are, Durant said it's about the old players. They need to retire and all that. It's not about them. Like you said, when we criticize them, they push back. Right. When the retired players criticize them, they push back.
Right.
They just don't like being criticized. Now, what I've always said, Rob, here's the thing. Who's Durant to talk? First of all, you criticize people. You went on burner accounts and ripped your former teammates. But that's not even the real issue. You've been on podcasts ranking players.
Thank you.
And, you have to answer for that. Kyrie went on your podcast. Durant. It wasn't. I believe it was Durant's podcast.
Durant's, yeah, I think so.
And he said, I ain't never had nobody I believe could hit the last shot. You ripping LeBron. Like, whatever Kyrie wanted to justify, it was a shot at LeBron. And so all we're doing, all Shaq, Barkley, Kenny are doing. Now, granted, we have experience. We've covered the league for, 3 decades, both of us essentially. They played in the league. So it's an educated opinion. But all we're doing is what people do in the barbershop. What people do when they watch the games together on Saturday
when they're at the sports bar with their buddies. This is life.
Talk about it. Who's better? Who's worse? Who's not getting it done? Who's got, this or that? That's all it is. Now, here's where I'm going to defend the players, Rob. I don't know that I'm going to be honest. I don't think they're necessarily more sensitive. I do think this generation of people is just soft. Softer than what we grew up with, and I'm not trying to be the old man on the lawn, but
you kids, get off my lawn.
Right, you can't offend anybody anymore. It's just every little thing. Oh my gosh, you offended. That's a part of life. But what I'll say, Rob, these players today they get criticized so much or scrutinized more than ever. And we've talked about it before. When Jordan, when LeBron, when Jim Brown, when, Terry Bradshaw and all these great players of yesteryear, O.J. Simpson, Eric Dickerson, whoever, when they played, they weren't constantly being scrutinized every single day, Monday through Friday, by talking heads. And when it ain't on TV, it's on the radio. And then now it's on social media. Nobody likes being criticized. Obviously, some people take it better than others, but I get it. To them, it is so ubiquitous. It's not our fault. It's the nature of the business now. It's the nature of the world. Social media, all that. I said it. If I was a player, I wouldn't even get on social media. I would have an account, somebody to manage it for me. I wouldn't even pay attention to it. Because how human beings, Rob, I believe, this is my personal belief, and a friend of mine told me this, and I agree with him. We aren't built for overwhelming praise, nor are we built for overwhelming criticism. If it's overwhelming praise, we're going to get the big head, think we're more than we are, we're God, we're going to disrespect people, if it's overwhelming criticism, it can break us. I mean, overwhelming. And so nobody's faced what this generation of athletes face. And so I feel them on that.
All right, this is my pushback. They are way, way, way overcompensated and have put themselves in a spot. So, Chris, it goes with the territory. yes, I agree. NBA players and former baseball players used to have jobs in the offseason. They made good money,
But even
Chris.
when they didn't, Rob, with the Magic generation, the 80s,
No,
90s.
I get the social media, and I'm not saying that, but there was more criticism. Howard Cosell used to criticize people on national games.
That's nothing compared to this, Rob.
I'm not.
You know that.
But they won't do that now, Chris. They're in bed with. I'm just saying, on a national game.
But is that worse than going and then Stephen A. or Skip or me or you being on TV ripping them every day?
No, I get it. It's a different animal. But my only point is, it comes with the territory, and you have to have thick skin. To me, this is the life we live in. We live in a news cycle, a 24-hour news cycle. And you got to feed the monster. It's on 24/7. And that's really what it comes for. Chris, when you're great, it's all about you for 24 hours. It's all about everything you've done. Oh, my God, he's the best this or that. Oh, my, can you believe that? Yes. And I guarantee you they don't turn it off. Guarantee you.
I hear you, and you're right. I'm not trying to make an excuse for him. I'm just saying I get these dudes, it's constant nowadays, Rob. No, you block people. They should block people. You know what I'm saying?
It's you block people, they should block people, and I'll block if I want to.
I'm just saying,
if I want to, I block
LeBron
people.
let it get to him against Dallas that first year in Miami. Why do you think the next several years he turned off social media, the next decade?
What he said,
he was smart
and that press
to get out of his
conference
head.
was as bad as it got. Because when he lost, you remember he said, at the end of the day, I'm still going to have my life, and you go back to your miserable
what? Some of that's a human response.
No, that's
like,
y'all
foul. Coming at me.
That was
Look,
foul.
I'm all right, though. All right? I'm making $20 million a year.
Foul, Chris.
I'm a superstar.
To say you go back to your little old lives.
I'm just saying, I hear you, and I get it. I'm just saying these dudes are human, and it's a different, I'm not defending them. I'm just trying to explain the whole situation. Good conversation, though. 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Your turn to weigh in on just an interesting discussion and dynamic. What do you think? Are guys like Shaq hating on today's generation of athletes? Or are players today just too sensitive? Do they have to get thicker skin?
Jack in Little Rock, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Jack?
Guys, thanks for taking my call. I love the show. I've made it part of my evening routine, so I really enjoy what you guys do. I'm a little torn on this, guys, because I can see both sides of it. From a nostalgia perspective, the late 80s, early 90s NBA, that was my bread and butter. The game's different today, but, we always tend to look back at things and say, you know what, my time or my generation was the best. So I get that point, but what really stuck out to me watching that Jordan documentary was, man, Jordan was he turned that criticism, even if he just had to perceive it.
Yes.
Like that story with him being at the restaurant, he used that as fuel. And so, and I think we can all do that in our careers to some degree. If someone's criticizing you, you may not like to hear it, but sometimes there's truth in it. And, I think the greats are the ones who are able to convert that and use it, to better themselves and become great. So that's kind of where I'm at on it.
Hold on. You're right. And they told Chris Broussard when he was at the Cleveland Plain Dealer he'd never break any big NBA stories. And he proved them wrong.
Hey, they did have me locked in as a part-time high school reporter.
For how
3
many
years?
For 4 years,
for
3 or 4 years.
Yep.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying,
true.
right?
And I used it as fuel. I did put on my MJ game face.
And they talk bad about you behind your back. He can't write a roundup. He doesn't know how to do agate. I don't know why we got him here.
Oh, man.
Brandon in Dallas. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Brandon?
Hey, what's up, Odd Couple? Great to talk to y'all this Worship Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Hey, for this, I don't think Shaq is hating. You know, Shaq has been the same way since he's come onto the scene. He always speaks his mind, and he has the resume to back it up. I think this speaks more to the basketball culture because this kind of thing happens sometimes in other sports, but way more in basketball.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it just speaks to the fact that when in basketball, as soon as supreme talent is identified, it's put on a pedestal and it's on a fast track to the league. And that doesn't happen in any other sport, especially in football. You're never almost put on the pedestal in football.
You know what?
Yeah, it's
that's a great point.
point.
No, I think that's a great point, Chris, because you do know more about basketball. Oh, he's going to be the next LeBron. Oh, this kid so-and-so, he's in the 10th grade in Dallas or whatever. And LaMelo Ball and you know, and all these other things. Right. And then, you know, there's this hero worship all the way through. And you're being pushed, and then as soon as, you know, you get there and it's like, oh, wait a minute, everything doesn't revolve around you, and you're not the perfect basketball player. That's not what you were used to.
The higher the ceiling, the deeper the floor. Yeah, and it's true. And you know, the NBA players are the most recognizable most recognizable American athletes in the world.
Well, there's only
even
a few
though football
of them
is the
matter.
bigger sport. But even, you know, the commercials, they are the, you know, part of it's because the fans are so close. They don't have, you know, helmets on.
Well, you don't have helmets on. You don't wear anything. Yeah, there's not as many
players. People know Brian Scalabrine could walk somewhere and people know who he was. More people might know him. I hate to even say this, Rob. It sounds crazy. He might walk down the street and have more people recognize him than Mike Trout.
I don't know.
Maybe because but just the fact that you don't know. I mean, 6'9", 6'9", orange hair.
They thought I was a basketball player at the airport. Everybody doesn't know everybody. Trust me. You don't know how many times they woke me up on a flight.
But they know a lot of average players that, you know, that have a lot more.
I would love to. You know what? That's something I would love to do. Is take some of those players and do a lineup and see if people can name them.
Yeah,
I think that would be a fascinating. Not the top guys, Chris. But whether or not they can name some of the guys you're talking about. All right, Mark in Sacramento, let's squeeze him in. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. Hey, Mark.
What's going on, gentlemen? Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? You guys
what's
too
up,
again. hey, real quick. I am that old dude. You know, I'm Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino, so I am him. But I can tell you this. Of course, it's generational because I've seen, me and Chris have debated from my age. I think I still say Wilt and Kareem. You guys say Jordan, and now these guys, you know, you say Jordan's better than LeBron. You won't let those guys push you out of Jordan. I won't let you push me out of Wilt and Kareem. So that's generational. But I do tell you the one thing that has really got these young kids this way. It's social media and their brands. Right. They want to sell themselves. And it's not just the kids. And I can say this, guys, I don't do social media. I told you guys that. I don't do any of it. So I get mine straight from you guys and straight from what I see and read. But I can tell you this, it's not just the young kids. We just got rid of a social media monster out of the White House where they had the bar. So it's not just young kids. It's social media itself. That's the way I see it.
Studies, thank you, Mark. That's a good call. Rob, you know, there have been studies that show that people that are on social media more are tend to be more depressed or, you know, have more anxiety than people that aren't, particularly with kids. You know, they say that's leading to that
I
stuff.
guess all that stuff happens. I just don't look at it that way. If someone says something cross, then you might get blocked. But other than if you're just criticizing my point of view, I'm fine with that. I don't, you know, or once you get into name calling, if you do any kind of name calling or any emojis, equating me to something, you know, derogatory or negative, that's when if you want to debate the issue with me, Chris, all day. Those are the people who get blocked, and they can't then they go on my Instagram and ask why can I unblock them? So you know what I do?
You say no.
No, I block them on Instagram. If you come to from Twitter to Instagram and ask me to unblock you, I'll block you on Instagram too. Don't do that.
All right.